Kiran, I think we can start the session.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. We'll start, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Very good afternoon to one and all. I welcome you all for the today's session on the career opportunities and capacity building in pharmacy. Here, this particular session is being divided into two parts. So, the first part I'll be handling regarding the career opportunities. So, first of all, we'll understand who are we. First of all, what are the pharmacists, who are the pharmacists, and what he does, and what are the different opportunities available for the pharmacy graduates. And in the later part, Dr. Bhagyarao Madam, she will continue with the soft skill development in under the capacity building in pharmacy. So, to begin with, so I would like to congratulate you all for almost coming to the end of the pharmacy profession, that is the pharmacy graduation. So now, once you complete your graduation, B Farm or Form D, so there will be definitely there will be a question. So what next? So whether to join the profession directly or go for the higher education. So what are the different opportunities? What are the different areas available for a pharmacist? So in order to understand that one, first of all, we should understand who are the pharmacists. So what is pharmacy? First of all, we already must be knowing. I'm just going to highlight regarding the pharmacy profession. So it's a clinical health science which links the medical science with that of the chemistry. And now it has been changed with the discovery, production, disposal, safe, effective use, and control of the medications and the drugs. So this where overall this pharmacy profession, it covers the each and every aspect of the medicine. So starting from the discovery till it has been given to the patient or it reaches the patient. Am I audible, right? Okay. So then in that case, who is pharmacist? So usually in some places, he's been called as a chemist, especially in the Commonwealth English, and in North America and in the other places. So he's also called as a druggist. So in India, most of the places we may see that the words like chemist and druggist. So they are the health professions who are specialized in use of the medicines, and also they deal with the composition, effect, mechanism of action, and proper and effective use of the drug. So in that sense, so the pharmacist, he's a specialist in the medication. He knows the in and outs. So because the pharmacist is the one who is involved in the whole history of a particular medicine, starting from its discovery till it has been dispensed to the patient. So in each and every part of this particular the journey of this medicine, so the pharmacist will be involved. So he becomes a specialist in the medicines. So he knows everything. And then a very important thing that he will be a companion for the physician. Because as a physician, so they might be studying the pharmacology subject as one of the subject in the degree, but will not be much in they will not deal with in detail. But it is the pharmacist who is going to give the complete knowledge about this particular any new drug which comes into the market, to the physician. So he becomes definitely a companion of the physician. And then he's a counselor to the patient. So this is the one part which most of the time we forget as a pharmacist. So we are the counselor to the patients because we need to give the complete information regarding the drug and its side effects and how to use it. So every point, every aspect of the medication, so it should be informed to the patient, and any queries from the patient has to be addressed by the pharmacist. So this one we usually we forget, and this we have to start from the home itself. First of all, start counseling your parents at home and your relatives, then definitely the others will come to you. And finally, overall, that we are the guardians of the public health, because when health it comes, it is the doctors, the nurse, the physiotherapist, and also the pharmacist. So we become the one of the pillar of this medical profession. So now, what do the pharmacists do? So you already know what he does. So first of all, starting from a drug discovery. So he's a scientist. He's a person who is involved in the discovery of any new drug, a new molecule, either it could be from the synthetic source or from the natural source. So definitely he will be involved in the discovery of the drug, and then followed by its studies. That is, either it could be the preclinical studies or the clinical studies. So there also a pharmacologist or a pharmacist and a clinical pharmacist will be involved, and they will be taking the data regarding that particular new drug. And then comes the manufacturing, of course. So once the drug has been tested and it is approved, then it has to be manufactured in large bulk or in the large quantity. And so definitely the pharmacist is involved in the manufacturing of these medicines. And then he's also involved in the quality control of these manufactured drugs, and then into the marketing. So he's the pharmacist who markets these drugs, who gives the information to the physicians and to the patient and to the suppliers everywhere. So this the information regarding the drugs will be given to them through the marketing. And then the drug information, as I told you already, so this drug information has to be given to the physicians, it should be given to the patient, and even to even the stockist and the supplier, that is a chemist. So everyone need to get the information regarding the drug, so that will be given by a pharmacist. And then the distribution and sales, so definitely we do that one. And overall, so we take care of the patient, and we're involved in the patient care in all the aspect. So this is the multiple job. So pharmacist job is not a single one, and it is a multi-role function. So pharmacist will be involved in each and every aspect of the journey of this medicine, from starting from its birth till it reaches to the patient. And even after, once it reaches the patient, even regarding the any compliance or any complaint regarding that particular drug, it has to be addressed by a pharmacist himself. So now, where do the pharmacists work? Now we know what do they do, and now let us see. So where do the pharmacists work? So the pharmacists, first of all, they work in the industrial pharmacy. So industrial pharmacy, it includes the research and development, it includes the production, the quality assurance and quality control, and also the marketing components. So each and everywhere, so the pharmacist can work. And then they work in the hospital pharmacy or the hospital sector, especially maybe the after PharmD or the M.Pharm in clinical pharmacy, or even some of the B.Pharm students also work in the hospital pharmacy as a drug, in a drug information center, in the adverse drug reaction centers, where it will be the adverse drug reactions will be addressed, and also in the dose calculation. So the pharmacist will be working. And definitely in the community pharmacy, so they are involved in the sales and the patient counseling. And another important area where the pharmacist can work is the academic pharmacy. Academic pharmacy is in the teaching. So most of the time it could be a teaching alone, or sometimes teaching along with the research and also the student training. So don't get confused between the teaching and student training. So even though they look same, but there is a slight difference in the teaching and the student training. And in the regulatory bodies, so definitely in the government sector, so as a drug controller, drug testing laboratories, and various health department, I'll come to that later, so in detail. So next we'll see in detail, so where are the job opportunities for the pharmacists. So these are the areas. It could be industrial pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, community pharmacy, academics, and in the regulatory bodies. So these are all the areas where the pharmacist will be working. So coming to the job opportunities for the pharmacist after the B.Pharm. So definitely there are two main things. One is for the higher education and directly enter into the field. So as a pharmacist, one can start his practice setting either in community or in the hospital or in the clinical studies. And also, the one can enter the industry. They in the various sectors of the industry. It could be production, QA, QC, R&D. So even in the R&D, there are bulk drugs and also the formulation, packaging, regulatory, sales and marketing. So in each and every aspect of the industry, so the pharmacist can enter, and other settings like academics, the right teaching and research, clinical research, and the regulatory. So these are the various, in short, the in summary of the job opportunities of a pharmacist. So coming to in detail, so before going into that one, let me give you some hint regarding the Indian pharma market, because why I'm telling this is, so most of the time the pharma students are the students after completing the pharmacy. So they may thinking, so where are the opportunities? What is the condition of the Indian pharmaceutical industry? So you must be knowing, you should be very much happy that, so the Indian pharma industry, so it is the world's third largest in terms of the volume, but it could be a 14th largest in terms of the value. So that comes because of the most of the drugs which are manufactured in India, they are cheaper. So that is because of that one, it could be having a slightly a lower side in terms of the value, but in terms of the volume, India is the third largest supplier of the drugs or the medicines. So it is the pharma industry is the only industry to record the profit and create the jobs, even in the global slowdown during 2003 to 2009. So there was a drastic recession, and most of the industries have completely, they have stopped, or they have been closed down, and thousands and lakhs of people, they have lost the job. But it was the pharma industry who has created the jobs and who has made the profit during that particular recession time. And in India, so it is the second, pharma industry is the second in order to spend more amount in the R&D sector. In pharma R&D sector in India, so there is almost in the recent, as per the recent statistics, they are spending around more than 5 billion US dollars in the just in the R&D. And in 2020 itself, so just Lupin, one of the multinational company, Lupin, they have invested 225 million US dollars alone, and followed by Cipla, who has invested 173 million dollars, and Cadila, they have invested 146 million dollars. So apart from that, the other small companies. So this indicates that, so the R&D expenditure or the R&D investment in, especially in all over the world and in India, it is the second to the defense sector. So Indian pharmaceutical sector, so it supplies around the more than 50% of the global demand for the various vaccines, and 40% of the generic demand for the US is supplied by India, and 25% of all the medicines to the UK, it is supplied by India. And Indian domestic pharmaceutical market, its turnover, it has reached to 1.4 lakh crore. That is almost that is 20 more than 20 billion US dollars in the year 2019. And you must be surprised that in May 2020, that's during the pandemic, the pharma sales, it has grew more than 9%. That is around 10,342 crores. That is $1.47 billion. It is just, I'm telling you the growth. The growth was 9% during May. So in May 2020, so we are at the mid of the pandemic. So this is the one in industry, so pharma industry, so which has created more jobs, and also they have made the profit even during this pandemic condition. So, and definitely, you might have heard that recently the government of India, it has announced certain guidelines for development of the bulk drug and medical device park. So, in a bid to promote the indigenous manufacturing of these products, that is especially the bulk drugs as well as the medical device park, and in line with the vision for the making India Atmanirbhar in the pharma sector. So why it is so? So as I told you, it is the third largest industry in the world, third largest in the world in terms of the volume. And but still, during 2018 to 19 statistics, so we have imported 3,500 million dollars of worth bulk drugs from the other countries. And out of that, 2,405 US million dollars is from the China. So that indicates that it's almost 65 to 70% of our bulk drug, or the what we call the APIs. So we have procured or we have imported from the China. So that means we are 70% we are depending on China for the raw material, that is for the APIs. So thinking about this one, and also out of that one, there are 38 essential APIs they have been imported. So based on this one, so the government has given the resolution, they have taken the stand to start 3 bulk drug park and 4 medical devices park. So out of that, guarantee need for the bulk drug parks is around 1,000 crores per park and 100 crores per park for the 4 medical devices parks. And overall, the total financial implication is more than 13,000 crores. And what is the outcome? So there will be number of jobs will be created. We will become self-sustained, or will not be depending on the other countries for the these APIs. And it is estimated that there may be it will be more than 46,000 crore worth bulk drug will be manufactured, and more than 68,000 crore worth medical devices will be manufactured in India, so that we can become self-sustained and self-employable. So you will get the pharma in the students will get more jobs, and more jobs will be created. So in pharma industry, so if somebody wants to enter directly into the pharma industry, so opportunities will be there in various sectors, especially in the R&D. So it could be in the drug discovery or formulation R&D, development of the F&D. That's what we call as F&D. You can involve in the analytical R&D, that is in terms of quality assurance or the quality control, bioanalyticals, biotechnology, pharmacology, and technology transfer, especially, and as well as the regulatory divisions. So in any of these areas in the R&D sector, so one can enter and one can search for the job. And definitely some people who are wishing to enter into the production area, so they can go for the solid dosage forms, liquid dosage forms, parenteral section, cosmetics, and also as well as the nutraceuticals. So in all these areas, the production pharmacist or the pharmacy graduates can be searching for the job. And definitely in the marketing, so it could be as a sales promoter and sales executive, product development, and the manager, so in the various different sectors. So this is in the pharma industry. So these are the various opportunities for any pharmacy graduate in the pharma industry. And apart from that one, in the government sector, so most of the time we think that there is lot of problem in getting the government jobs, but there are plenty of opportunities are available in the government sector also. So first of all, the most least known for our students is that the pharmacist in Army, Navy, Air Force, and other government hospitals. So there is a position or a post for the pharmacist. So minimum qualification will be D Pharm or B Pharm, and even the PharmD student can also can opt for that one. So the pharmacist post in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and other government hospitals. And definitely one can enter as a drug inspectors. So in the government of India, in the state level. And definitely if you pursue the higher education, maybe for post-graduation and a PhD, then definitely you can join as a scientist, or as after graduation, you can be joining as assistant scientist or some other post. So especially in the Food and Drug Department, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, the ICMR, CMAP, that is Council for Indian Medicinal and Aromatic Plants, so CMAP or IICT laboratories. So everywhere, so the scientist jobs will be open for the pharmacist. And government universities, professors and HODs, so definitely in the government colleges, so one can join as a academician. And definitely you'll be having the opportunity to get selected as a UPSC and the State Public Service Commissions, UPSC and KPS. And government analyst and forensic scientist is another opportunity, another area where one can venture, so in those posts. And definitely in the research on trophical diseases, public health, so there also the pharmacist will be preferred in the research areas. And in government certified pharmacologist and toxicologist or government approved chemist. So definitely these are some of the areas for the pharmacist in the government service. Along with that one, you can join as a consultant for most of the places, like in the mental health, addiction, the family planning, poison, self-medication, immunization, in all those conditions. So where the consultant, so pharmacist can become a very good consultant for these people. So these are the areas for the pharmacist in the government service. Then there are certain super specialties out there. So some of them may be available in India, or some of them available in the abroad. One is called as the transplant pharmacy. So this transplant pharmacy is nothing but it is a super specialization for a pharmacist. So where the solid organ transplantation pharmacist, he provide the evidence-based and patient-centered medication therapy for management and care for the patient throughout all phases of the solid organ transplantation in various healthcare settings. Because you must be knowing that once there is a organ transplantation, the condition of a patient will be totally different, and the medication, you cannot treat that patient as any other patient. So because his immunity has been compromised and he will be having many other conditions. So for that one, you need a specialist and that person will be called as a transparent pharmacist. And another one is the nuclear pharmacy. So where the certain specialty, specialty area of pharmacy where with the preparation of some radioactive materials to improve and promote the health throughout the safe and effective use of the radioactive drugs to diagnose and treat the specific disease states. And also as a pharmacy informatics. So definitely in the it is the scientific field so which focus on medication related data and also the knowledge within the continuum of the healthcare system. So collecting all the data, because nowadays in the today's world the data is nothing but it's knowledge. Knowledge is data and data is knowledge. So you need to have data for everything. So that data collection and the using that data for the betterment of the research and other things. So that will be very much helpful. So that is called as the pharmacy informatics. So in these areas, one can have these super specialization. So when it comes to the higher education, so apart from the, so now after your degree, the B Pharm or maybe after Pharm D, so one can go for the higher education. In India, you can first of all, the most usually move for most of the students, the first option will be the M Pharm, Master of Pharmacy. So one can join the Master of Pharmacy, especially if you clear the GPAT. So you may be getting the position, or you may be getting the seats in the government sector, government colleges. So it could be in the pharmaceutics, pharmacology, chemistry, pharmacognosy, which are the basic or the core subjects. And apart from that one, there is pharmaceutical biotechnology and pharmaceutical quality assurance, regulatory affairs, industrial pharmacy. There are number of still more, many number of the specializations are available. So whichever the area you feel interested, because now when you come to the final year, now you will be knowing so what is your area of interest. So based on that one, you can join for M Pharm in any of these the specialization. And also one can directly go for the MBA if you are very much interested in the marketing sector. So you can pursue MBA, Master of Business Administration, especially you may have to clear the CAT examination. You can enter in the pharma management sector or the finance sector as well as in the marketing sector. And there are some colleges or some universities or the institutes so who will giving some special master degree. So that is especially the MS and MTech. So it will be MS in pharmacy and MTech in pharmacy. It is given by the NIPER, that is National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Mohali. So they will be awarding MS in pharmacy and MTech in pharmacy. It is not MPharm, it is MS or MTech. And similarly, there is a another institute, that is the Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. In short, it is called as ICT Mumbai. So you must be knowing. So in ICT Mumbai, one can get the Master of Chemical Engineering or Master of Technology. So this Master of Chemical Engineering, Master of Technology, most of the time we think it is for the engineering people. No. So B Pharm is one of the basic qualification for entering into this master degree. And apart from that one can have the Master of Technology in the green technology, Master of Technology, that is MTech in perfumery and flavor technology, and MTech in bioprocess technology. And apart from that one, there are many other MTech seats to be available in the ICT. And the NIPER Hyderabad, so another national institute. So there you can have the Master of Pharmacy or Master of Technology, that is MPharm or MTech, and MS in pharmacy and MBA in pharmacy. So you can avail. So these are depending on your interest, the way. So in which area next you would like to join as a pharma, as a professional. So based on that one. And there is another institute called Indian Institute of Pharmaceutical Marketing, Lucknow. So these people in this institute, you can have the MBA in various segments of the pharmacy. So that is B Pharm is the minimum qualification, and you can have the MBA in, it could be the hospital administration, it could be the drug, the marketing, the pharma marketing and other things. So it's a list of the MBA degrees available, MBA courses available in the IIPM. And if you're directly if you're entering into the manufacturing section or into the industry, and if you don't have the time to go for the regular classes, so definitely you'll be having another opportunity, that is IPER, that is the Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. So there you can have the pharma management program. So most of these diploma programs, they are online. That means you can have the part-time certificates. So that it could be the diploma in pharmaceutical production management, or marketing management, QC and QA management, right? The project management in pharmaceuticals, the medical representatives list. So you can just go through that website of that IPER. So if you just in the Google it IPER, so definitely you will go to that website and you will get a lot many the diploma courses, and you can have it. The important thing is that you can have it while you're working. So you can get the certificate, you can study from online, and you can get the certificate. And definitely it is not only the question of the certificate. So definitely you're going to get an added knowledge. Why I'm telling you is that I have completed my, when I was in industry, I completed my DPPM, that is Diploma in Pharmaceutical Production Management from the IPM. So definitely that the knowledge what I gained from that particular diploma of just for 1 year, so definitely it has helped me a lot in while I was working in industry. So based on that one, I'm telling you. So these are the certificate courses. And there is another institute called as the Institute of Good Manufacturing Practices, India. It's there in NCR, Delhi, NCR. There are a number of certificate courses available for both the regular as well as for the part-time basis. So you can log on to this igmpiindia.org, and you'll get the list of the certificate courses, so which are especially based on this GMP. So this is the higher education what you can opt in India. And apart from that one, definitely you can go for the higher education and the job opportunities in the abroad. So I'm not dealing in detail regarding the job opportunities or the higher education in the abroad. So one is the MS you can do, for which you have to clear the GRE for USA, and TOEFL for USA and UK, IELTS for Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and UK. And also definitely you can join the MBA in pharma, that's based on the GMAT or TOEFL USA and UK and IELTS. So with those some of the examinations you can join in for the higher education in the abroad, and definitely in pharma industries as well as in research and everywhere, so job opportunities will be available. And especially those who are interested to work as a pharmacist, so definitely the Middle East and Gulf is a very good area, so where you can earn more money if you are ready to stay in the Middle East and Gulf. So it's a very good opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities out there for the pharmacist. And PhD and postdoc research work in various universities and organizations abroad. So it's definitely always it will be open. So these are the some of the job opportunities and the higher education opportunities for a pharmacist. So after you complete your degree. So now the one important thing before concluding, I would like to share with you is the career choice factors. That means on what basis we are going to choose our career. So now you know the option. So there are plenty of options are there definitely, but on what basis, on what are the factors which will influence our career choice? The very first one is the motivation. So this motivation is nothing but based, it comes from your interest. So now definitely if you after your BPharm, if you are going for the MPharm, so definitely you might be thinking now, so when you're in a final year, so there's some subjects, whether it could be a pharmacology, it could be chemistry, based on what you have studied for the last 4 years. So you'll be having the interest in one of the subject, and based on that one, you can go for the higher education. Don't ever think that, okay, if I do only in this subject, then I will get the job, and in the other subject, if I do, I will not get the job. Don't ever think about that one. See, always, whenever you're pursuing your higher education, go with your instinct and go with your the interest. So it gives you a sense of achievement for you people. And definitely, if you're doing that particular subject with interest, so definitely you can achieve something from that one. And there are always the unconscious motivation factor will also be present. And even if you're going for a job also, so definitely you follow your instincts. Second one is very important, the skills. See, everyone is born with this skill, but we certain things we develop, or we develop those skills through our during our education and during our training. I'll tell you one thing, if anybody is going for the job, opting for the job, when you go for a job, when you go for an interview, the very first question asked for you people, it will be, what is your experience? And most of the time after completion of your degree or a PG, when you go for an interview, and the same question is asked, you will say, sir, I am a fresher. No, definitely you are not a fresher, because you have studied this pharmacy for 4 years in BPharm, and additionally it for 2 years when in the MPharm. So during your education, during your course of studies for 4 years, definitely you might have accumulated some knowledge or some training or some skills. So that skill, that knowledge will be your experience. Don't ever say you are a fresher. After your degree, you'll never be a fresher. I see, if you are, even if you understood how to operate an UV spectrophotometer individually, so that itself is your experience. Instead of telling fresher, you can say, sir, I can use this so and so instrument with ease without anyone's help. So that is your experience. So be careful. So that skill you have to inculcate during your course of studies. That is very, very important. And definitely the values, it is very important that you may wish to consider factors such as the type of lifestyle you want, your beliefs, and the ethical nature and company or industry you want to work in. So either you work in the industry, you work in a hospital, or you work in a teaching profession. So the nature of work will be totally different. So which nature of work suits you, what you call it as a value, and where you enjoy that job. So that becomes your career choice. So based on that one, you choose your career. So if you are coming for a teaching, the teaching should be a passion. So you cannot just come for the teaching just for the sake of the salary, because we are going to create the number of pharmacists, and we are going to give them the knowledge so that they can serve the country or serve the world in this pharmacy profession. So because we have to have that particular values in us, and where your values are there, so in that area you have to enter. And lastly, there are number of constraints will be available, and constraints will be present. So it could be the financial or geographical limitations. Suppose if you want to go for the higher education, you may say, okay, sir, we are having some financial problem. I will not be able to pursue my higher education. But definitely there are even there are ways for that one. You can go for the loan, the education loan. You people must be knowing already. And some family responsibilities, yes, definitely it will be there. Physical disability or the qualification education. So all these constraints you have to overcome. So any constraint, you cannot take it as a constraint. You have to make it as a challenge, and you have to overcome that challenge, and then you have to choose your career. So this is how you need to choose your career, and these are the areas where you need to work. And before concluding, I would like to, suppose if you have any questions before concluding, you can ask me. Anyone who would like to ask any question? If there are no questions, I will end my talk for today with a quote. Uh, have you heard about 2UU? She said, my choice of uh, learning pharmacy was driven by my interest, curiosity, and a desire to seek new medicines for the patient. She is, who is she? Anybody knows?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So, as you mentioned about health informatics, could you throw some light about the future of it, and could you tell us some details, sir? And what course should we take if we are interested in health informatics?
Can you just introduce yourself?
So, my name is Aishwarya. I just passed out B Farm.
Okay, Aishwarya, you completed your B Farm.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. So this health informatics means, so it's collection of the data. So it could be, most of the time it will be in the industry or in in the hospital sector. So I think you need not go for any specialization, but definitely there are some certificate courses will be available. You can go online and Google, and you can get it. But it's a very good opportunity for, especially for the girls, this health informatics, this one, this sector. Right now, I'll not be able to give you the complete information. You just you can mail me, so I'll get the information regarding that one, and I will revert you back.
Sure, sir. Okay, sir. Please give your mail and I'll get in touch
Yeah,
with you for the
yes,
same.
yes, definitely.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. 2UU, she has a Nobel Prize in Physiology Medicine. I think you must be knowing it in 2015. And she got this Nobel Prize as a co-recipient for discovery of ultimicinin for treatment of the malaria. She is a Chinese pharmacist. So with this one, I'll come to the end of my talk. So thank you very much for your attention throughout this presentation. And I wish you all the best for your successful in professional life in the future. Thanks a lot. Now I will hand over the session to Dr. Bhagyarao for the soft skill development.
Hello, good afternoon, all. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So basically, I'm going to speak about mute ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. These are the tips I'm going to give you for your successful career or your job opportunities. So basically, it is called as a soft skills, which is necessary. So as already Kiran sir told, your technical expertise. So you have finished your degree, you got your degree, and you are planning for your career in pharmacy. So obviously you have now a technical expertise. Technical expertise, yes, of course, it is required for your success. But what is important is soft skill also. So we'll see what are the soft skills and other parts. If anyone heard about Harvard University, hello? Anyone heard about Harvard University? Okay. The Harvard University has one Harvard Business School, and they have done a survey. And what they have done is to find out what makes a person a great wealth creator and also a successful in their career. So when they did this survey, they asked these questions. So what they asked is it your intelligence, which matters a lot, or your good education, or whatever the marks or the grades you have scored in your degree, or it is your family background, or is it a heredity, or it is your family wealth, or it is a hard work. So when they did this survey, what they found was it was none of this. So not the intelligence, not the marks, not the grades, not the family, not the heredity. It is something else. So what is that they could find out with this survey? So they ultimately found an answer for this successful career. It is soft skills. So what is soft skills? The soft skill is like a backbone, or it is the essence of a job or a career. So to tell the definition or to understand the soft skill, basically soft skills are personality traits and the behavior. So you cannot measure or you cannot quantify soft skills. It is your behavior. So it is like sometimes soft skills will be innate. Innate means by birth you have. Sometimes you will learn the soft skill through your whenever you are doing your degree, and it is like by training or learning, or it is by the innate behavior. So unlike the technical or whatever hard skills you will learn, soft skills are not about the knowledge you possess. So it is basically your behavior, which you are going to display in a very different situations. So this, when they did this survey, they could list out. There are so many soft skills, but basically for career or the for a job opportunity and to sustain in a job, there are important 10 soft skills are required. So the first important soft skill, which is really important for any job or any interview, is the communication. So communication is nothing but how you're going to express yourself. to the opposite person or to the committee or to the team members. So the communication may be a verbal or it may be non-verbal. Verbal means we are using a words to communicate the information. Sometimes your communication without using a words also you can communicate. So basically your body language, all those things comes under non-verbal communication. Important thing to sustain in a job or to become a successor in career, self-motivation is a very, very important factor. So without the motivation, you cannot achieve anything in your life. So the self-motivation is another important soft skill which you have to develop. So that will really helpful for your successful career. Then taking a leadership quality. So leadership is very, very important in the companies or in the job. So you can be a very good leader, but you should have a good leadership quality. So what are the leadership quality? It's basically first you should be like you should understand the situation and you should be a good listener. So all those some important leadership quality you have to develop. Then another important is taking a responsibility. So taking a responsibility is the very important. So this is also a part of leadership quality. So whenever any work or anything, if something goes wrong, you should be in a position to take the responsibility and you should acknowledge what the mistake has been done. Then the most important the skill which is actually looked by the employers is the teamwork. So you cannot work in the isolation in the companies or in the academic sector. Your work will be always with the teamwork. So you should have a good rapport or good relationship with your colleagues so that the teamwork will be there and the teamwork will help you to achieve whatever you want in your life. Then problem solving capacity or the ability. So during your career, there will be a lot of problems will be arising. It may be a small problem or it may be a bigger problem, but you should have the capacity, patience, and the attitude to solve this problem effectively. Then the another important whatever the soft skill is the decisiveness. So what is the decisiveness? Basically, in the decisiveness, you're going to take a decision very quickly, but whatever the decision you're going to take, it should be effective. So because in some situation you cannot delay your decision, you have to take a decision immediately, and this decision should be very much effective. And another important soft skill which really helpful or which will take you to very higher level is ability to work under pressure. So any work you will have a deadlines, any work will have a time scale. So you should be in a position to work under pressure, and the time management is a very, very important factor which you have to cultivate in your life. So the time management means there are so many things which comes under time management. Like you're reaching to given one example of a time management to start with. So example, if your interview is at 9 o'clock, so you should not reach the interview venue at 9 o'clock or 9:30. See to that you will reach the interview venue at least half an hour before. This is very important to convey the message to the company or the employer that you are serious about your interview and you know how to manage the time. So it's not only attending the interview, it is also important when it comes to the executing any assignment or a work given to you. So you have to always reach that deadline. So some assignment have been given by your higher authorities to submit within 2 days. So see to that you will cope up that, you will maintain the timeline, and you're going to submit your assignment or the work, whatever you're given, on time. This is very important. If you don't have a time management, then it will be very difficult for to grow you in the career. Then a flexibility. You should be flexible. So flexible means sometimes what happens, you should be like, you have to work for extra 1 hour or half an hour or something. So if you don't have a flexibility, you stick to the official timing, then you cannot finish your work on time. And flexibility also important to adjust with other colleagues and other people. Then another important soft skill which you should develop is a negotiation. So basically, negotiation is nothing but you have to discuss with the people and you have to come to an agreement. Means we'll always say, please negotiate. So meaning is that you have a meaningful discussion with the other people, or other company, or other colleague, and you should come to a conclusion. Then you should also develop to solve this conflict. So basically, conflict is, it's a serious disagreement or argument between the two people. So when you're working in a company or in the academic sector, so different people will have a different attitude and different ideas. So there will be a possibility that there is a serious disagreement or argument which is happening. So you should be in a position to solve this conflict so that this will helpful for the whole team. With this, then I'll just shortlist the soft skills, that is important sets of the soft skill which are really necessary for your career growth or the sustainability. So one is a communication skill, a leadership quality, creativity, interpersonal skills, and also the professional skills. So communication skill, if you come to the communication skill, very important is your verbal communication. So how you're going to speak. That is very, very important. So example, when you're going for an interview, so your journey start with your interview. So when you're going for an interview, you should prepare well. Prepared well means it should be subject wise, your preparation should be good. And also, when you're going for any particular company, you should do a lot of background homework regarding the company. So what is the company about, when it is established? So since you're all from pharmacy, obviously you'll be going for a pharmaceutical companies. So you should know what are the product which is manufactured or sold by these company. So all this information you should do proper homework. So this type of a homework will give you a confidence whenever you are, during your interview, and even the interviewer will also be happy that yes, you have done a proper homework and you have done a background checkup before coming for the interview. And if you do a homework properly, if you do a preparation properly, then it gives you a lot of confidence when you sit in front of the interviewer. So, and also whenever you're answering to the interview question, your voice should be showing that confidence. So you should have a confident voice when you are answering. Another important is when you're answering, your voice or whatever the statement you're giving, you should be clear and there should be a clarity in what you are speaking. So you should not speak, like fast or anything. You should be slow, you should be clear, and there should be a clarity whatever you are speaking. Then another important factor is you should use a good grammar when you are speaking. Especially you have to consider tense. So you cannot mix past tense, future tense, all those things. So you should be, you should know how to use these tenses according to the interview questions. And also your grammar should be relevant to the topic, what they're asking, and you should use a good words. Good words, or you have to always choose a wise words. Wise word means you cannot use any negative words. The words should be clear, should have very colorful, and it should be meaningful. So this is what communication or the verbal communication comes. So the verbal communication is very, very important because that is how you're going to impress the interviewer. That is how you're going to make up friends in the company or in the academic sector. So you should really develop a good communication skill. So this, to add this, along with this verbal communication, you also need a non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communication, basically it deals with how you dress up, how you face the interview. So basically, I'm just giving us some hints for your interview. So whenever you're going for an interview, you please dress up professionally. So what is the meaning of a professionally? You cannot wear, no, try to wear a light colored dresses, wear properly. If it is a girl or something, don't wear so much of a jewels. And also, as a general, don't go for a very strong perfumes or the deodorant, because it will affect the total environment. So the pleasing personality, it is called as. So your the way you are dressed up, and it is also important that you have to groom it. Groom means you should comb your hair properly. For male, you should shave properly. That the first impression will be the best impression. So see to that you always dress up so professionally, so that when you go for an interview, the interviewer will have that that okay, he's really dressed up professionally, all those things. And also the another important communication is your eye contact. So whenever the interviewer is asking a question, it should have a one-to-one eye contact. So if someone is asking you a question, if you are turned that side or this side, that shows that it may be you're a negligency or you're not serious about the interview. So eye to eye contact makes a lot of difference, and it also tells that how confident you are. So apart from the verbal communication, if sometimes what happens when you're going for an interview, they also ask you to present whatever you know, or they may give you a topic to present. So you have to develop a good presentation skill. So what is a good presentation skill? There are three important factors you have to consider when you're going for the presentation. One is what is a topic you're going to speak. So do a proper, you know, literature survey, or you just read properly about what topic you're going to speak. Then how to make the slides. So making a slide is also very important. You cannot just put words or the text from the online. It should be clear, and also you should know which color to use and what is a background, what is a font size, everything, and try to be more of a flow chart or a figurative presentation rather than adding more of a text. Then the third important factor when it comes for the presentation skill is who is your audience. So please understand, depending on the audience, your presentation should be, your skill or whatever you're going to give should be different. So that you have to develop. So it comes by practice. So, and when you're giving a presentation, you have to practice, practice, practice each and every slide. Then you should have, that flow, and each slide should have a connectivity with the other slide. So these are the simple, hints or the tips for the good presentation skill. Coming to the listening. So listening is like if someone is telling something, you should hear properly. You should listen properly. So never, sit for any class or anything just to answer the question, but understand what they're saying. So you should be always a good listener. So if you're a good listener, then it is easy for you to communicate properly to the opposite person or to the team. So always develop a good listening skill. Then a public speaking. So I'll come back to that public speaking. Then whenever you are speaking, you should have a humor. See, your face should be having that pleasant face, and you should always having a smiling face. So all those things will have an impact, and it gives you a good, communication skill. Then interviewing is basically like how to, ask questions, how to, test others' talent, all those things that you have to develop slowly. So you should not, demotivate the people who sits opposite to you, but you should, on the other hand, you should also know how to take answer for your question. Then another important communication skill is your writing skill. So every time we cannot speak, every time we cannot, tell everything. Sometimes you have to make or write something. It may be an official document, it may be a permission letter. So during that condition, your writing skill matters a lot. So you have to write the date, who you are writing, from where it is going, what is the subject, what actually you are asking, and grammatical mistakes, full stop. The simple things you should really take care, and it should be legibly written, and there should be space between the lines, and you should have professional information, or it should be more of a scientific way. So that is very, very important for the writing skill. So coming to the public speaking. So public speaking is like speaking in front of a very big group. Have you heard about glossophobia? Hello? You people have to interact, then only we'll be in a position to speak. Have you heard about glossophobia?
Yes, ma'am.
What is glossophobia?
The fear in public speaking.
Yeah. So what is glosso? Why it is called as a glossophobia? Okay, so basically phobia is a fear and glosso is a tongue. So it is from a Greek word. So glossophobia is basically using your tongue, means obviously it is a public speaking or speaking in front of the group. So a lot of people, they have glossophobia, like including our own Mahatma Gandhi. So initial period means in the early ages, even he had a problem speaking in a public. So, but after later he learned how to speak and he come out of this phobia and he started speaking so fluently in the public. So we have to develop to how to come out of all these fears and the inhibition and try to speak. So for that, you have to do a lot of homework. Initially, you start in front of the mirror, speak in front of a mirror, slowly develop that confidence. Then you can speak in front of your friends, your family members. Slowly, that type of a fear will start reducing. So once it reduces, then you start speaking in front of some 4 to 5 people. So like this, you can learn and you can actually come out of this fear and you can be a good public speaker. Then the leadership quality. So if you want to work in a company or in academic anywhere, the leadership quality matters a lot. So in the leadership quality, it is very important. You have to build your own team. So singular or as a single person, you cannot do anything in the setup. So you always need a team and your team should be very good. So leadership quality also, helpful for strategic planning. So you take any problem or idea and you should apply a proper strategy. You plan it in a systematic way, and then it will be easy for you to execute that particular plan. And leadership quality also is important, or supervising is a very important part of the leadership. You have to supervise what is going on. If you don't supervise, then you will not get the work from your team members. So you should be always keep an eye on your team members, supervise, help, and also you should be in a position to take a decision in the right way. So decision making is a very, very important part of a leadership because you have to take a decision on time in order to get the result on time. Then you should be in a position to delegate, and you should also be in a position to mentor. Mentor means basically advising, giving a tips to your team members. Since you as a leader, you gain so much of knowledge, So that knowledge you will be, giving to other team members for their development. So that is called as a mentoring. And also, you should also in a position to give a feedback. So if some team member, if they're not doing properly, you call that person and you just give a feedback, help that person to come out of all those things. So like this, if you could manage all this like a team building, do a proper strategic planning, supervise each and every part of your team members, take a decision on time, delegation, mentoring is very, very important in the leadership quality. And ultimately, you should give a feedback. If someone has done some really good job, please appreciate them. Then if someone has not done, call them and tell them how to improve. So like this, leadership quality is very, very important. So the leadership quality, the teamwork matters a lot. So if you see anything, so example, to give an example, uh, Indian cricket team winning a World Cup. So it is under the leadership of MS Dhoni, we could win the World Cup so nicely. But it is not only the MS Dhoni's effort we could get the World Cup. It is actually a team members, the support, everything. But as a leader, so MS Dhoni was there in that position, and he could really, get that from each and every member of the team. So hence, these are the very good qualities. So you should develop slowly during your career. Then another important is interpersonal skills. So interpersonal skill is means between the person. Okay, so you should have a lot of networking. So now we have so much of a social media, so it's very important that you have a more connectivity. So it may be friends, it may be your colleagues, it may be your teachers. So please have a very good networking. This will help you in the successful of your career. And interpersonal relationship, always when you're working in a company or in the academic, different people will be there and they'll have a different behavior. So you should always have a good relationship with your colleagues. That is very, very important to do the work peacefully in the company. And it's not that every time you meet very good people in your life or in your career, there are other people who really challenges. That is, they are called as a difficult people in your life, but you should know how to deal these difficult people. You should develop that strategies how to deal even these type of a difficult people. That is actually a talent, or it is a very plus point for your career success. Then, as already I told you, you should be in a position to solve the conflicts between the two people. You speak to them and ask them, is there any misunderstanding is there? Try to solve, and hence you can actually, make your working place very pleasant area. Then try to build up that personal branding. Personal branding is that your uniqueness. So example, if you see some Santur soap, that is the one branding. So like that company or the wherever you are going to work, you should show that you are the unique person. Only you can do that. So that personal branding is very much required for your successful career. And also, you can come across all these office politics. So politics will be there in any area. It may be a company, it may be college, everywhere. But you should be always away from this politics. See to that in what way you can, in the diplomatic way, how you're going to be a part of all this. But you should never be a part of any politics. Then another important is creativity. So creativity is a uniqueness of problem solving or anything. So in this creativity, one is a problem solving. So problem solving is a very, very important skill which is really useful in any part of your life. So you should always, have that intuition to come out and tell that, yes, I'm in the position to solve this problem. So problem may be a small or some problem may be a big, but surely there will be a solution. So you have to just, critically think and take your own time and try to solve this problem. So this will really helpful for your success. Then innovation, think very differently. So some people, so it's like going in a different path. Okay, so always your thinking should be innovative. Think in a very different way how to solve this, develop your own unique presentation skill, communication skill, everything. Be innovative. Then design sense, you should be in a position to have a good design and the creativity, whatever you're doing. So example, if it is comes to the product development or anything, you should have how to improve this thing critically. So this will really helpful. And the artistic sense, so it's like a art. So you should always have that artistic sense when you're working in the pharmaceutical company, and this is really helpful. So as I already told you, critical thinking is very important. So this will really helpful for you to solve the problem on time. And always you should be a troubleshooter. So whenever the trouble comes, so go there, try to help them, and that is how you will become a leader, or you will become a very unique in your life. Then the personal skill. So personal skill also very important. You should always have friendliness. So be a friend to everyone. Develop that friendliness. This will be really important. And if someone comes and asks you some help, always show yes, I will do it. So don't tell that no, I cannot do it. So that friendliness you have to develop. This will really helpful, because when you are in need, surely the same person will come and he will help. So it is like helping each other. Then the work life balance. So you should always have your personal life separate and the work, whatever the professional life separate. Never and ever mix both the personal life and the professional life. So keep them very separately. So then you can really, give 100% justice to your work, but also you can give 100% justice to your personal life. So time management is very, very important. Please keep a deadline. Try to, reach that deadline. Submit your assignment. Do everything on time. This will really helpful. And ultimately, you should have a self-confidence to do all this. If you don't have a self-confidence, you cannot do anything. You cannot achieve anything. So self-confidence is very, very important personal skill, which will come only when you do a proper homework, when you are a systematic. All these are very important. Then taking criticism. So obviously, will not be we cannot do all the work 100% perfectly. Sometimes there will be ups and downs. Some problems happens. We also make some mistake, but you should be in a position to hear that criticism. Someone tells, okay, your presentation does not come out well. Okay, so you can even go and ask, say, what went wrong. So you should be in a position and the open mind to hear what the other person criticizing you. And whatever that criticism comes to you, take it in a positive way. Inculcate that in your future presentation or in your future work. So what is very important is you should have enthusiasm. If we don't have enthusiasm or motivation, nothing can come to you. So with your enthusiasm, with your motivation, you can do wonders in life. So what actually important for all of you is, first of all, you should be really honest in whatever you are doing. So be honest in, and um, apart from the honesty, you needed three simple things to be a successor in your career. One is dedication. So you should always have a dedication in your life. So with the dedication, if you do anything, you will be successful. Then you should have an enthusiastic, and you should participate in almost all the activities which is happening in company or any academic section. So ultimately, you need a big smile. So with a good smile, you can, do wonders in life. So I wish you all the best for your career, and please, try to develop all these soft skills. This will be really helpful for your career. So with this, I say thank you so much, and if you have any queries or doubt, please feel free and let me know. So there is no question. Okay, so I hope you will try to, incorporate whatever the advice or the tips, whatever I have given from my experience. So please, involve yourself and try to develop that soft skill and be successful in your life. So thank you so much. Raman sir?
Yeah, thank you, Bhagya and Kiran. I think it's one of the best presentation because it connects the students to all the aspects they want to know about soft skills, job opportunities. You have broadly touched. I'm impressed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Can we close it, sir? Can we
Yeah,
finish, sir?
we'll close the session. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all.
ಸೆಷನ್ ಇಂದ
ಅವ್ರಿನ್ನೂ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಸರ್,
ನಿನ್ನ ಇದೇ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ
ಇವಾಗ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೆಂಗಪ್ಪ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು ನಾನು?